Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. And before we jump on in, yes, I still am sick. I do apologize if I do sound a little bit rough and nasally. I do apologize, but nonetheless, we will be we'll get back to normal here soon. It's just a little bit of a rough cold or sore throat, whatever you want to call it. But nonetheless, with all of that out of the way, let's dive in and let's actually talk about something very, very serious. And that is what we are seeing around this market. So, Crypto Nagato or Nagato posted this over on Twitter. Now, remember, this is an older article that got posted from The Economist and also even Bloomberg. And it's funny, right? Because we constantly see the worst sentiment around crypto at like the best times. What do I mean by that? Well, go back to March of 2020. Look at the headlines around the news and the mainstream media. It was all about, crypto's dead, crypto's gone, is crypto going to zero? We see it all the time. It's like clockwork. What do you see after seeing recent covers of some mainstream newspaper DCA on fundamentally strong projects at the current levels makes even more sense to me. Don't let them distract you. And yeah, I mean, like when we really kind of look at these headlines, crypto's downfall, the fall of a crypto empire, I mean, like it's all fear mongering. And we will get more into this here in a second. I actually want to play this video from the IMF. It's very interesting. And we do see the worst is yet to come. This is devastation. Shout out to XRP Chiz for quoting this, and we do see a year ahead. For most of the world economy, this is going to be a tough year. Why? Because the three big economies, the US, the EU, China, are all slowing down simultaneously. And listen closely to this video.
One of your IMF researchers gave a pretty dire prediction. Overall, this year's shocks will reopen economic wounds that were only partially healed post-pandemic. In short, the worst is yet to come, and for many people, 2023 will feel like a recession. What do we need to brace for?
This is what we see in 2023. For most of the world economy, this is going to be a tough year, tougher than the year we leave behind. Why? Because the three big economies, US, EU, China, are all slowing down simultaneously. The US is most resilient. The US may avoid a recession. We see the labor market remaining quite strong. This is, however, a mixed blessing because if the labor market is very strong, the Fed may have to keep interest rates tighter for longer to bring inflation down. The EU, very severely hit by the war in Ukraine. Half of the European Union will be in recession next year. China is going to slow down this year further. Next year would be a tough year for China. And that translates into negative trends globally. When we look at the emerging markets and developing economies, there the picture is even direr. Why? Because on top of everything else, they get hit by high interest rates and by the appreciation of the dollar. For those economies that have high level of debt, this is a devastation.
And yeah, I mean, this is on CBS News, mainstream media attention, Face the Nation. This is an account, so this is like a side of CBS News. They have 520,000 followers. I mean, listen, this was viewed 14.8 times, or 14.8K times. And I really do think that when we look at what's happening around the economy, this is one massive plan. Hear me out. We'll actually get back to that here in a second. But you see over here, the IMF is warning that 1/3 of the world economy expected to be in a recession in 2023. The world's poorest country's debt interest payments are up 35%. A slowdown and a debt crisis. Buckle up. And we do see down here engineered capitulation to reduce consumption and soften populace up to accept/be saved by UBI CBDC. Then social credit systems can be implemented globally. Yeah, I do think that this is going to lead to the next evolution of the Great Reset. And I really do think that people need to realize what is happening when we start to see these major announcements from, we'll say, the World Economic Forum, the IMF, the World Bank. I mean, there's so many of them, the ECB as well. They are all here planning the next major evolution. I want you guys to realize what is going on right now around you. A lot of people are asleep at the wheel, letting autopilot just guide them. But at the end of the day, we need to wake up, ignore the media on how they are trying to perceive things, how they're trying to tell us things and distract us with this and that. We need to open our eyes to what's really going on behind the closed doors. And we do see over here, breaking 2/3 of economists at 23 major financial institutions expects a 2023 recession. It is all bearish news. I'm telling you guys right now, you can look everywhere. There is bearish news at every corner. We do see from Michael Branch, Peter Schiff has predicted that the US dollar will have one of the worst years ever in 2023, warning that the inflation problem is about to get much worse. If we do see the US dollar have its worst year ever, then guess what? Risk on assets, physical gold and silver, is going to be your best friend. This, to me, is going to start a major relief rally in risk on asset classes. Again, crypto. Crypto is a perfect example of that. Now, over here, we do see a few articles that I do want to, really kind of put a spotlight on because they are comical. So CNBC's Jim Cramer tells investors to abandon cryptocurrency. This happened on December 6th. Over here, again, December 12th, 60% of Americans see crypto investing as highly risky, but millennials are still its biggest fans. And this is from CNBC again. This is CNBC Make It. This is from New York Post. This was talking about CNBC's overall mad money. He came out to the entire general public and said this. It's complete nonsense. And then over here, we do see a ton of FUD was, there to really kind of guide us in December. Crypto.com CEO has history of red flags, including bankruptcy and quick exits. I mean, everybody was saying, Crypto.com's next. Binance is next. This is next. I mean, the amount of fear mongering that was happening in December alone, even in the end of November, was ridiculous. And now what we really kind of look at is time frames, right? So one thing that I've noted on this channel many, many times in the past when talking about a possible bottom scenario for crypto, we look at the historical time frames. Historically, Bitcoin tends to bottom 517 to 547 days prior to the next halving event. The next halving is less than 500 days away. Shout out to Rect Capital. Now, yeah, I do think that we could have some volatility. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, I think that our entire bottom is in for crypto. When we really kind of look at things happening around crypto, to me personally, I do think that, we could have seen our bottom, but also there's a side of me that says, okay, I think that we're going to see one last capitulation event. And in fact, I think I even retweeted a tweet earlier today where I was really kind of looking at this chart, and it made a lot of sense to me because it played right into what I was expecting around crypto. And it was something more so to do with like the all-time highs of Bitcoin and what is happening right now around crypto. And if we look at the actual time frame, it will lead us into like 2024 and 2025. I don't think that I have it here. I don't think I could find it. But it was very interesting because it was talking about the time frame order that we are in right now, and it was really kind of looking at a few things around crypto. Now, one thing that I have noted around the altcoin market, so this is excluding Bitcoin. And yes, we do have XRP over here. One thing that I would like you guys to realize is on the weekly chart, remember what I said, candle bodies matter. This line up here that we are trailing on has been our candlestick body line to watch for. This, to me, is a level of interest that I have been focused on for a while around the altcoin market. Now, if we do come back down to test this range one last time, I mean, this is only roughly, 4% drop, minimal. But if we do break it, guess what? The next level of demand is all the way at about 37.22%. Remember what I said in earlier's video, yesterday I said we could possibly see a scenario where XRP does come back down 20%. It would be something very similar to this in the altcoin market that could push these altcoins to have a move like this. But guess what? Who really cares? That's right. Who really cares? I mean, at the end of the day, will I be buying this level? 100%. Have I bought up here? 100%. Why? Because we are at this this point in this market that really kind of separates the weak from the strong. And I would love to give you guys a quick insight on XRP's price potential. Listen, from the levels that we've already seen on XRP, we are looking at almost a 30x to possibly 40x to possibly even 50x at $15. To me personally, when we look at what's happening around this market, as we do see mainstream media getting extremely bearish, and we see the FUD accounts constantly fudding around crypto, talking negatively about, crypto. Everyone get ready for the recession. Everyone get ready for the worst year possible. The worst is yet to come. This is devastation. These are buzz words. These are buzz statements. These are to get you panicky, scared, worried, concerned. I'm telling you right now, these are the types of videos, these are the types of words that get the general public, the general retail investors, shaky. It gets them locked in a corner, thinking, I have no idea what is going to happen next. I can tell you right now that one thing that I have noticed is the US dollar. The US dollar looks absolutely horrific. This is on the 1 week view. Go check out the 3-day view. We are now coming down below a significant demand zone. If we don't see a bounce here, which I am expecting a bounce, I'm expecting something like, this, a pump up to major resistance, followed by a trail down to the next major demand zone. Now, I'm telling you right now, to me personally, the US dollar is finished. I've mentioned this many, many times on this channel. I've talked about it. And I want you guys to realize, right? Realize that in the past, when we have seen the dollar fully top out, this has ignited runs that have changed lives forever. In my opinion, going back to what Peter Schiff was saying, and when we look at the dollar right now, and when we look at the events unfolding around the world, in particular to the US dollar, I strongly believe that we are going to have an incredible year ahead for crypto. And yes, I do believe that this is the year that we do see the bottom. Wherever it is, I believe that this is going to be the year that we see the bottom. But this is also going to be the year that you need to buckle up, shut up, and start looking out for your future financial, freedom, as well as your generations ahead. Because right now is not a time to mess around. It is not a time to listen to the media. It is not a time to be emotional. It is a time that you need to have conviction. You need to sit there and say, okay, what am I going to do? Let's do it, and let's succeed. Because right now, as we look at this market, we know altcoins like XRP are down astronomically. I mean, right now we see an 85% drop on XRP. There are some tokens in the space, like for an example, Casper. Casper is a perfect example. This thing is down 90, and I mean 98% this market had gotten decimated, and we've seen the mainstream media laughing at us. It is time to sit back, buckle up, and get ready. And with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.